Hi, my name is Hannah Sutherland and I work with these cool season legumes. The purpose of this study is to assess the feasibility of growing warm season and cool season legumes in Colorado. For a long time now, dry beans have been a key part of our cropping systems. However, in the past decade or so, dry bean production has declined, and this is due to low profit margins as well as some disease pressures. So we want to find out whether or not cool season legumes and warm season grain legumes could be a potential addition or replacement to dry beans. The cool season legumes that we're looking at are lentils and peas, and these have an advantage over warm season legumes such as dry beans, and they are more water efficient, and you can harvest them earlier, which gives the farmer the ability to intensify the cropping system even further through uses of cover crops or other crops. And the warm season grain legumes, which we also refer to grain legumes as pulse crops. So the warm season ones that we're looking at are chickpeas, fava beans, and black-eyed peas. And we are looking to make sure that they also, the goal of them is to also be production and harvest ready for the traditional agricultural machinery. So that means that you can plant them and harvest them with a combine, which means the farmer doesn't have to buy new equipment in order to replace this for dry beans. In addition to this, these crops have been grown successfully here in the States, specifically in the northern Great Plains as well as the Pacific Northwest. And they have been sold at high prices, and there is both domestic as well as international demand for these crops. So here at this specific study, we are looking at fall planted legumes, being peas and lentils, and those are both in non-irrigated as well as irrigated plots. And then we also have spring planted legumes of lentils, chickpeas, and peas, which are again grown in non-irrigated and irrigated plots. So just to give you an idea of some of the things we're planting out here, we have here in these plots, these are spring planted plots. We have chickpeas, which are these larger leafed plants right here, and here's a chickpea pod, and they're pretty fun. Here are lentil pods. They're pretty small, and you usually have 1 or 2 lentils per pod, which doesn't seem like very much, but you can get a lot of pods per plant. And then we don't usually see peas as dry peas, but here are some peas that have been dried, and this is when we usually harvest them, is when they are completely dry. And so just to give you guys an idea of what we're looking at out here. So part of the reason that we have chosen these specific grain crops, grain legume crops, as part of this study is because they all have a lower production cost and a higher market value than dry beans. And they are also more water efficient, which is really good and for Colorado because we need that water sustainability here in this dry state. In addition to this, we have seen these crops grown in the Great Northern Plains as well as the Pacific Northwest with great success and high prices as well as international and domestic demand. So we have high hopes for them here in Colorado as well.